There it is. I'm live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday night. Here we are again of another beginning of a weekend. You still might have one more day before you head into yours. And I'm excited to be here. Hope you're having a wonderful moment full of joy and celebration and, well, whatever you're wanting to experience from the moment, right? So, as always, super excited to get into the readings, find out what we're going to spill the tea with Bretta Z. It's my new tag for my new logo. I like that. Bretta Zen Tea Factory. But before we get into all that, we do want to come back to this moment. So, what we'll do to prepare is we'll start off taking a big deep breath in, hold it for as long as you feel comfortable, then exhale slowly. That'll bring us back to this now. We'll get out of the future, get out of the past, get out of the chaos, come back to this moment where there is eternal, unconditional love and peace, awareness. It's always there, but we're more aware of it. And then we'll bring in the singing bowl. So let's start off with a deep breath. If you want to join me, let's begin by a big deep breath in. Again, like I said, hold it for as long as you feel comfortable. Don't pass out. Don't hurt yourself. And then slow exhale. Here we go. Big deep breath in. Beautiful. Pardon me. I will hit the singing bowl 3 times. And as I do, we can just imagine this beautiful love energy just emanating from us, getting bigger and bigger and brighter with each time we're hitting it. Letting that unconditional, eternal love energy just fill us up in our minds and all our stories and thoughts into our hearts and all of our emotions into our physical bodies, to our blood and our organs and our bones and everything. And also into our energetic body, our chakras, our meridians, our auras, just filling us up and then flowing out to the world, letting it do whatever it wants to do out there to raise the vibration of the planet. So, as we're doing this, something we can do, I always talk about gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. It's one of the high vibrating emotional energies. And so, as I'm hitting the singing bowl, if you think of just one thing that you're grateful for, can be anything in this moment. Sincere gratitude to the Creator immediately begins to raise your vibration, puts you in connection with Spirit, open to receiving more from spirit as well. And whatever we're grateful for, we vibrate at and draw it more easily to us. Excuse me. So we'll begin here. And remember gratitude. Watch your ears. I'm not sure how loud this will be. It varies from every time I hit it. So here we go. Get ready. Beautiful, beautiful. Excuse me. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Beautiful, beautiful energies. Every time, every time. All right, we'll put her back here on the shelf. And so excited. Thank you guys again for being here. And I am excited, like I said, to find out what is going on in the spirit world for us. We did have some wonderful Neptune has gone direct this week. I think on Wednesday. It's in Pisces right now, but it's in the 29th degree, which is the degree it right is before it goes over into Aries, which will happen in this 2026. So we're in Pisces' own ruling planet, is in its own what it rolls over. So it's very comfortable here. But we dive deep into our subconscious and our emotions, the dreamy world. Things are about to this next year, especially with the going into the year of the fire horse action. It's very Aries energy. It's very much movement and going forward. So I'm excited for that. I have a stellium in Pisces, so it's been shaking up my all my I think all my inner planets. I think like my Mercury, my planet of communication, and Venus. I know those are in Pisces. My moon is in Pisces. I think Jupiter is my Jupiter. I think it's my Saturn and another one. I've got like a stellium, but it's Saturn because it's my thinking. So things are going to be shaken up. Look out. You're a Pisces. Yes. Fun, fun. You get it, faith and love. All right. Well, if you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome, welcome. We got a great group of Zen friends with huge hearts, great senses of humor. Definitely two things we can use in this adventure we call humanity. So welcome. There's always room for more Zen friends. And if you want to know how the whole process works with readings, everything, it's always down in the description box of the video. But we do have donations do get priority. I do honor that energy exchange. So where free readings are first come, first serve, and 1 to 2 card readings for those. For the donations, I do dive deeper into more of the tea, meaning we pull more cards, and you also get a fortune cookie of some sort along with your reading, as well, a little extra message from spirit. And if you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box. I do have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. I don't have any set dollar amounts, so whatever you want to give is from your heart is the perfect amount. I know everyone's finances vary and everything else from day to day, from country to country. The rate of exchange is different, everything. So I know you give what you can from your heart, and I do honor that. Um, I do get 2 free readings every session. If 2.5 hours in, I have not completed any free readings, I do step back from donations for about half hour and complete as many free readings as I can. And then I return back to donations. I always finish out donations either in the same session or if I have so many, if I need to take a break, I will take a break and come back and finish everything out same day for donations always. I try to get through as many free readings, and sometimes I go out of balance and sometimes I need to balance myself and I may not get to all free readings, but I definitely try. Sundays are different, where we always come back in the afternoon and finish out everything in the afternoon. So if you try throughout the other sessions and aren't able to get your free reading, then definitely make sure to come back on Sunday as long as you get it out there. Sometime during the day, we will get you your, you know, reading. Blah, blah, blah. What else? At the end of each session, I do post a pinned comment listing the order, not really the order, but listing all of the readings with timestamps. So you could always come back and find your name and click on the timestamp. It takes you right to your reading. So super, super slick. What else? What else? If you have giveaways, and I'm probably going to continue this, I'm like 90% sure I'm going to continue having drawings every new moon and full moon because I really love doing these. But I have a giveaway of a 30-minute person recorded reading or a hedge of peace and love. And if you haven't got into the drawing for next week when we have our new moon in Sagittarius, the link is just there in the chat. Also, it's always in the description box of the video. Whatever the current stream is, it's in the description box. I'll always put the link there for that as well. And oh man, can you believe it's the 11th of December? What? I know, a couple more weeks left on my super sale on all of my personal readings, both virtual and recorded, and then also my Hedges of Peace. And they'll be on sale at least through January 1st of 2026. I'll decide. I'm deciding and sending with spirit about 2026. What are we going to do? We're going to continue? Are we changing things up? We don't know. So we'll find out. Also, today, a new adventure on the Easier Path, my podcast, is out. This one's called Unicorn of Love. It's about sometimes how looking for love feels like this, adventure, this journey trying to find the elusive, mysterious unicorn. And it's like, I've heard about it, I've never seen it myself. That's the way like a unicorn. So pretty fun, interesting, uh, I feel from spirit. So be sure to check that out. And if you want to catch up on all or any of the other um, episodes, the playlist is down in the description box of the video as well. And it's on my main page. If you go to my main page, click on my name, it'll go there and it's at the very top. There as well. I think that's everything. I think it's all the blah, blah, blah. Just kind of flying through it all. There you go. So let's do some shout outs and let me get my little list together and we'll get started into readings. So we got Deb in the house. Hey, Deb, you've been feeling it, huh? The Neptune energy. I love it. I love it. And then Patricia. Hello, Patricia. Good to see you. Let me grab your free reading. I'll add you onto the list here. There we go. And we have, faith, of course, Faith and Love. I do have yours listed on there already. You have Pisces Sun and then Pisces scattered throughout your chart. It is a fun time. I feel if we make it this far with all that Pisces in our chart, then we're doing good. If we didn't take ourselves out a long time ago, then I feel like we're all right, because it is rough. It is a challenge feeling all that emotion, uh, especially that dark side of the pond. Just really enjoy it. It not drags us, but draws us to it, right? So I like that. Hello. So you're on the list there, and we got Footwork or Valerie. Hey, thank you so much for your donation. You'll be number 4 on the list of donations there, Valerie, just so you know where you're at. And we have Anna in the house. Hello, Anna. Good to see you. Thank you for your donation. You'll be number 2. We got Sean G in the house. Hello. I got yours via the Cash App. You'll be number 3 in the donation list. Then we've got Gene XO. Hello. Good to see you. I got you on the list. Right. And then we have that one. We got Touch of Love. Hey, Touch of Love. Good to see you. We have you as well. And then, of course, we've got Moonlight. Hey, Moonlight, also known as Summer 27 there. You'll be up first for the donations. And then Moncloa, you are first on the list of free readings. So donations will be Moonlight, and then Anna, and then Shanji, and then Footwork. And then for free readings right now, I've got Moncloa, Touch of Love, Faith and Love, and Jean XO. So that's, I think, everything that I have right now. Let me just do one final little sweep, see if anything jumps out to me here. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Right? Definitely some hard times, but we're still here. So there we go. I'm going to be using the Lumina Tarot this evening. Woo. So we've got that coming in here. Oh, turn off some energy soon. I was like, what? Turn off what? uh, I'm not the master of the universe. You'll have to talk to upper management. But we can learn how to put up a barrier more, to absorb the energy. Can kind of be like maybe a lightning rod. Um, some sort of grounding, because if we're not grounded and we're water signs and we touch electricity, guess what happens? We get electrocuted. So some sort of grounding, um, definitely. There's if you're being that impacted by energies, I get it. I had to develop a bubble and a deep grounding energies and connection, kind of a release and a surrender of a lot of things because it's like it gets "Bzzz, let go," but it's like when you grab hold of I've been grunting twice a day for weeks now. Wow, maybe maybe try something else. But there is this, once you grab onto like a something electric, you can't let go, right? Oh my god, I can't let go of this. You got to like pry your fingers off. But when you go to pry your fingers off, you start also taking it through the other hand, right? But we'll see here. Maybe do I have a piece of paper somewhere? Maybe I'll make a note. I'll make a note. Grounding, hedge, or something like that? Question mark. I do offer hedges. And that information is down in the description box. They're actually on sale right now, as well. Uh, and I haven't developed a hedge to absorb and reroute energies, but it is all about silence and putting this pocket of quietness. So you might take a look at that if you're interested. All right. But let's dive in here and we will get the party started. Good to see everybody. Thank you. And thank you so for the thumbs up too. Does help spread the Zen love. So thank you so much. It's a way to show some love to me and my channel. And you're part of the love tsunami that helps spread the Zen love out there. So thank you guys so much for that. All right, let's take a sip of this hot, steamy coffee. Look at that. Psh. I think I need to turn this down, but so I don't burn my mouth. Cheers. Oh yeah, nice and hot. Let's turn down one. There we go. All right, let's get going. So, Moonlight, you are up first. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom, boom, boom. So, thank you for your donation and your sticker. How's it going? I am doing well. I hope you're doing well. I want to take a deep dive into NN, their thoughts, feelings, and actions. Okay, we'll take a look and see what's going on with them here. So towards you, what are their thoughts? All right, boom, boom, boom. Got 3 for there. Feelings. 1 above, 2 below. Whoa, don't know what that means. Action. What's their next action? All right, we got that one and that one. Like step 1, step 2, and then how did he feel when you told him? Well, you got the message and you made a choice. Ooh. All right, let's take a look here. Let's see. How did they appreciate that, right? All right. Well, as the bottom of the deck, we do have the Magician coming in here. That is a kind of an action energy. It's ruled by Mercury, which is communication and action and communication, but it's more clarity of mind and kind of a manifestation kind of energy. We'll see what more of this is about here as we dive in a little deeper there. You are welcome. Thumbs up. Oh, very good. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, I've had a couple people have had hedges, and they're pretty powerful energies. They're not. I know sometimes I emphasize their impact on things, and they can sound kind of intense, but they're not as intense as for us going through the hedge as it is for people around us that don't want to change their energy from lower to higher, they kind of can't stand being in the higher vibration, so they have to step out of the hedge, you know? So we don't force people out, we give them a choice. We put out this big vibrating, beautiful love energy, powerful, and then people either raise their vibration to stay in there or yay, 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 they run away. All right. Here it comes. Dun dun dun. Right. So let's take a look here. So first of all, it was thoughts, right? I already lost my train of thought. Yep, thoughts, feelings, and actions. So thoughts, yeah, I've thought here. We got the Ace of Wands. That's coming in here. So that's like the magician kind of energy. It is an action energy. We do have Leo fire energy as well. So kind of this grounding and passionate kind of energy. And the Eight of Cups. Yeah, there's kind of this walking away from emotions and relationships that don't serve anymore. And I feel like here their thinking, which is the protector of the heart, is going, I don't know. This is like a I don't know, they're passionate and they're attracted both energetically and physically, through the passion. I think we talked about, and we'll look at their heart here in a moment, that their heart doesn't get to be expressed very often because the mind is so kind of controlling of their heart, but they usually express it through passion. But I feel like that's one of the fire, but I feel like the other fire that's there is you like your fire, even though you're water, I know, but the fire creates steam and they get like burnt by it. Instead of them being able to mesh with it, they are burned by the steam instead. That's why I feel like they're out. It's like, ow, 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 ow. They get close and they get too close. They feel like they're getting burned and they step back. So that's why they keep coming forward and backward and forward and backward. But this Eight of Cups is their mind going, maybe it's best if we just go with this Eight of Cups. But let's see what the heart is the one here. Yeah, eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Cups with the mind is saying, "Go, go, run. You should just leave this. You're just gonna fail." And the heart is going, "Wait a minute, wait a minute. Eight of Pentacles. Put in the work, put the blood, the sweat, the tears. We get the fruit. Come on, we can do it." The heart's like, "No, I want to go that way," right? Yeah, their heart is silent, right? But, at least to the outside world. Inside, there's that structure. Yeah, we've got the Hierophant, which is, major arcana number 5, and the Justice card, which is, here too, which is Libra energy, the house of relationship. And that's interesting that it's all about, "No, no, we can grow through this. We could learn. We can learn about relationships. Come on." So their heart really is drawn in. I feel like you, as much of an empath as you are and you pick up people's emotions, even though you don't feel it like on the conscious level or above ground, you are with, of course, all that Neptune energy, with all the Pisces, and Cancer and different energies. You feel the underworld of emotion along with that Pisces and Scorpio, Cancer moon energy, right? So the moon energy, you get to know, and you get this, wait a minute, and that's why I feel like you get mixed messages, because it's like you can it's like the heart is a ghost and you can see ghosts. So you're talking to their heart, but their mind is the one speaking in the physical planes. But it's like their heart wants to, this will be an experience, we can grow, come on. And the mind's like, oh no, we're gonna fail. There's a test. I'm sure there's a test, and I'm sure we're gonna fail it. We're gonna bomb it. So let's see what their next actions are based on all of this here. Yeah, we have the 10 of Swords, really to this place of endings. I don't want to, have expectations and have to have intentions, because these are the things I feel I'll fail, right? The 10 of swords are the mind's small t truths rooted in fear, that long list that they go, I can never live up to that. We're gonna fail. There's no way we could do all that. It's impossible. And they're right. We can't live up to everyone's expectations, but their next actions are, I need to end that. We have the King of Cups. And this combination of the 10 of swords with the King of Cups is because the King of Cups can be represent like a perfect partner. And I feel like they're looking at their understanding of what you would feel, um, is the um, perfect partner, that they can't live up to that. And I feel like that's kind of their next actions. Right now, it feels like they're kind of heading in a different, like, to giving up kind of energy. The mind especially, because the heart, um, unfortunately isn't allowed to vote right now in their life. They let their mind rule over their heart. Um, would you say, "Yes, you can feel it, but inside outside is not see" yeah, it's not speaking the same language. That's right. And then the last one was, how did he feel when you told him, "Well, you got the message and you made a choice," right? This is what they saw here. Yeah, they've got the 3 of Cups. It's an interesting energy with the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, and the Knight of Swords. The combination of these 3, it does feel like that. The 3 of Cups is, thinking it's like third party, but this third party, I feel, is not a real person. I feel like it's the idea of, well, maybe there's someone that I'm more compatible with, someone who, like, thinks I'm enough, you know, like, that doesn't have a whole lot of, from their mind, expectations. And the Knight of Swords is, seeking clarity. The 7 of Pentacles is last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit, but also when you start to see the fruit, looking at changing your, like, well, maybe this fruit isn't for me. Maybe I'm allergic. Maybe I'm lactose intolerant. But the whole thing is with all of that, though, too, is they think, well, you have a lot of expectations, but three fingers pointing back, the expectations are in here, not really out here, right? Um, and wherever they go, there they are. So they think, well, maybe there'll be someone else that won't have as many expectations. But if he doesn't change his mindset and his expectations, they're just going to follow him wherever he goes, right? It's the monkey. If you don't let the monkey, free into the jungle, it's going to be with you wherever you go because it's on your shoulder. So I kind of feel like that is where we're at right now. I just feel like they're trying to figure things out, really seeking clarity. I don't feel like they've made a decision, but I feel like, um, the more that we kind of are that crystal clear mirror to people, um, it makes it very startling, right? For them, because they're like, "Whoa, I'm not used to this honesty." And you're like, "Nope, you're not." Let's see what the, wisdom of Hafiz is what we're using for the, um, oracles, for the fortune cookie for this evening. So let's see what else they want to tell you here around NN. What can we know about NN? Okay, thank you. Oop, nope. They said, "Nope, not those." Try again. That's a message in itself. We've got embrace stillness. Yeah, kind of beautiful lotus. Is that a lotus flower? Lotus blossom? Let's see. These aren't really severely long. Yeah, he's talented that way. Stillness is an alchemy stone. There is a door inside your mind no one told you about. It leads to a land of infinite potential and creative genius. You enter the doorway through stillness. And if you seek to know the wild expanse of your truest power, or to discover the true home of your deepest belonging, go there, go often, and listen deeply. Yeah, so it's about getting into that stillness, right? And the doorway to the higher mind, not to the doorway of the human mind. That's where all those expectations and small teachers rooted in fear are, right? This is talking about kind of being this blossom and opening up and just allowing the universe to show you what they want to show you. And I like that, the opening the mind, the gates of the mind. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I don't know if it's hard to see here, but these are all like these are big like roads, because there's trees along these. So these are huge blossoms, and there's these huge gates back here too. But it's a beautiful card. I know it's hard to see there. I'm gonna try a new camera here soon. See if I can get clearer pictures for everybody because some of these don't come through like I want them to. I know, control. What can I say? But that's what they have for you, Moonlight. So hopefully that helps. Many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. Hey, Olivier, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Let's add you onto the list here. Oops. Here we go. Make sure I have all these right here. And then footwork, the list for the donations. Anna's up next, then Shanji, and then you is where we're at right now. You are welcome. Let's see here. Yeah, Deb, quite. Yeah, Hedge is powerful. People do fall away, at least out of your face. You're so funny. All right. Let's see here. We did those. We did those. I just want to make sure. Yeah, and then Patricia. Okay, yeah. So I do have the list correct there, and I think that's all that has come in here since I started. All right, so we'll continue on here. So Anna, you are up at 3303. Look at all these threes. There we go. So thank you for your donation. It does let me give that. Oops, a love and a like there. So we will. And a follow-up reading below. Hello, hello. Yeah, my host is doing well. Better and better every day. You know how it is with spine surgery and stuff. She had some really good days, and then she um, had a couple days of a lot of pain. But I think it was the weather changes and stuff because my foot was hurting too. I'm like, it's my arthritis. It's my arthritis. So thank you for inquiring there. So you're seeking insight on a work colleague related matter. So a few months back, Spirit had mentioned JB's frustration and happiness. Fast forward to this week, and that's quite evident. Is JB planning to leave your department? And if so, when? All right, let's take a look here. See what we got going on here. So, based on current energies, is JB planning on leaving the department? All right. Yeah, does appear to be so. We'll find out some deets here. And then also, we will look at the whens based on current energy here, too. All right. Boom. Didn't even have to like shuffle. It was like the card started to shuffle and a card came flying out. Yeah, I sure will. I did tell her, I'm like, don't overdo it. And she listens. I also channel her mom, but her grandma was a nurse, I think. And and I know as soon as something comes through, I'm like, so Granny is saying slow your roll. It's funny. I love it. All right, let's take a look here. Bottom of the deck. I kind of feel like they're in the process of determining still with the King of Wands, because the King of Wands is trying to get everyone out of their head, all the supposed to's and whatever, and find out what is it that I want. But I feel like they're in that planning stage. That's coming in there, right? Um, so, I definitely feel like that's there. The first card that made itself known is the 7 of Pentacles, and the energy of this phases, and it's also it's the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit is one of the interpretations of it, but there's a second one, and that's what came through here, which is once you start having the fruit, you're like, "Meh, is this really what I want? What is it that I do want? What would I rather grow?" And I feel like that's where they're in the process of looking at here. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune with Jupiter, energy, they are looking at what will bring their abundance. Where can I grow more? I feel like there's this energy of being stifled and being it's not so much unappreciated, but, like, I feel like when I'm sitting in their energy, I'm feeling like other people get opportunities before me, other people get shout outs and praise, but I get feedback, and when I do good things, it's feels like it's more I'm making up for the bad things than I am feeling like I'm doing really well, and I just feel like people nitpick me. That's from their perception, of course, but this is where their energy's at, and they're like, "I want somewhere where I could express myself." I mean, literally, so I could where I can not limited and I can do multiple things with all these arms going everywhere at different times. I want to be able to grow. I feel like, they're bringing back to me some training that I got when I was a manager for decades with that corporation. And one of the offsites they had us, one of the subjects that they're bringing back up were the different generations. And they're bringing up a generation that, um, like my generation, you work hard and you stay with the same company forever, and you work hard, and then after if you work hard for years, you'll get promoted. The generation I feel like they're from or their influence is, I need steady progression, not big jumps, but steady progression up because it keeps them engaged, it keeps them there, it keeps them going. Um, and So I feel and it was funny because in that same conference, after telling us about all of it and the current I think it was Gen Y or maybe Gen Z that needed that, they were like, "We're aligning, um, positions. Instead of having these layered, we're changing them into bigger ones." And we're like, "But didn't you just tell us?" And they were like, "I know." That wasn't us though. That was a higher management thing. HR was teaching us, so then they announced that. We're like, "It doesn't make sense," but that's what they feel like. I it's frustrating to work so hard and wait for a big one when it's like, I want they feel like they need reward, 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 that keeps them engaged, and I feel like that's a little bit of everything all kinda meshed together. We also have temperance. Yeah, they've been patient. I feel like they feel they've been patient, waiting for things to slowly open, but I do feel like their patience is running out. In fact, it even looks like normally they have 2 cups in their hands, but it looks like, the cups have spilt. It feels like whenever they feel like progress is being made, it gets taken away, like maybe working from home and then having to come back to an office, that's a takeaway. It feels like a lot of takeaways, and that's why they're just like, "I feel like we're not moving in the direction," kind of that's coming in here. Yeah, and we have the 8 of Swords and the Maiden of Cups. So, we've got the Page of Cups. The 8 of Swords is trying to let go of mindsets and things that make me feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and something that'll make me feel happy, you know? I feel like they almost feel like there's too many rules and too and again, I'm feeling I'm more restricted than other people is their mindset, and that, I need to be able to have expansion and grow and not be limited. Um Yeah, and then that true trying to find true happiness there. Um, as far as when, we do have the 10 of swords coming in, which is I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. But there's this. May 21st to June 21st of next year. But I feel like that's because they haven't made the decision yet, and they're kinda just flipping back and forth in their head and waiting, but I feel like they're gonna make a decision, and that date is gonna be sooner than later. Even the affirmation is, "I let go of the past and embrace a new beginning." The 10 of swords energy, is this energy of, like, endings and beginnings. I'm sick and tired of trying to please everyone else. It's time for me to do something that I wanna do. Um, so it feels like they're more planning an energy of trying to, um, you know, how can I make this happen? Maybe if I save up enough and I do this and I do that, or I can just make it till summer. Well, May 21st is, yeah, it's almost summer because June 21st is the uh, summer solstice, right? So I feel like they're like, if I can make it to summer, then I can make a change. So because I feel like they like are trying, they're looking everywhere else, and they were, going in different directions, and so I do feel like there's this you know hesitancy. They get brave and then they see the world the way it is, and they're like, maybe I should wait. Maybe I should wait. Well, no, maybe I should wait. It's the scariness of that. So I feel like that's what they have for that one. Yeah, you are number 4 footwork. I'm only a number 2, so not to you yet. Patience, patience. All right, let's see what your fortune cookie brings in around this too here. Mm, yeah. Well, what they say, everyone's a mirror, so they're difficult to work with. My thoughts about them are difficult to work with. So, because if, there's no mistake. So if there's conflict with anyone, if we if we get rid of them, we're just gonna have conflict with someone else because it's happening for us, right? So I know, and it could be worse. It could be someone worse. Careful, careful what we wish for, right? All right. And then you've got Dream Wide Awake. Beautiful. Look at that beautiful card. So card 19. Again, 9 plus 1 is 10. So it's an ending beginning energy. Says the falcon realized it had stopped dreaming when its wings current became the impetus of existence. There's only one question at this moment. What is the next vision of the grandest version of you? Life is calling on your visionary skills to dream your future into reality. There are dreams waiting on you to bring them into the world. Welcome and entertain them all. Muse, wonder, wander. Let your outer vision relax and soften. Tune out the distractions of the world. Turn your back on reality to allow your inner sight to grow strong. Ooh, I like that. So beautiful, beautiful sun card. Shine bright. All right. You're trying your best. Yeah, definitely learning, right? All right. So that's what they have for you, my dears. Many blessings to you. All right. Let's see, we had DBF come in. Hey, DBF, good to see you. I'll add you onto the list here. And thank you so much, Michelle. I did see your donation comes through Zcash app. So we will add you on to the list. You'll be up here. We have Sean G next, footwork, and then you'll be up after that. You're very welcome, Anna. Thank you so much for your donation. All right. So thank you guys for your patience and getting to all your readings here. I know sometimes spirit gets a little chatty, but I can't do anything about that. I don't want to do anything about that because if I tell them to shut up, they will. Then I'll be like, "No, speak to me again." All right. So here's your time step there, Sean. And so thank you for your donation via the Cash App. And your question is, how will your meeting with Kay go next week? Will they be interested in bartering services? Ooh, all right. Let's take a look here and see, based on current energies, where we're headed there. All right. So, how will the meeting go with Kay next week? Okay. This and this and this. And then will they be interested specifically in bartering? Right. We'll put those two there. Okay. So, what we got here. The energy on the bottom. Hello, hello. You have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, that is a little bit of like a change of direction. Like you end up kind of doing things a little differently with new information that comes about during the meeting. So I do feel like this is like, can kind of look at it. You're coming from this way, they're coming from this way, but you do see eye to eye. That's funny. There's an eye in there. And you guys find a path together here. So it's not quite exactly as you're wanting, not quite exactly as they're wanting, but I feel like you guys can come to some sort of agreement. Let's see what the overall energy, that's the overall energy of your entire reading. But for the meeting itself, you have the Empress. Don't you get her a lot? Creativity. Ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. But that is about creativity and kind of use your creativity to kind of like generate options to go, okay, I see where they're coming from. I know where I'm coming from. Let me, kind of look at, you know, this joint kind of energy. We also have the 10 of Cups. Yeah. So you get the Empress and the 10 of Cups, which is abundance and joy. And I like this. Again, it feels like kind of like this. Here's, maybe we'll do it this way. Like, here's you with your 5 cups. That's them with their 5 cups. So the joy, and together you guys can find a way to bring it together. Underneath all of that, you do have the 9 of Wands, which this can feel like maybe a little resistance in the beginning, like feeling like I want what I want and they want, and they're feeling like I want what I want. And if we don't go, like, get curious about what they want, then there's gonna be like a stubbornness, a wall that's up. But you can step through that wall by activating your creativity and kind of looking at it maybe, like from that direction. But it feels very positive there. Will they be interested in bartering? We do have the Magician energy next to the Queen of Swords. There is this balance between head and heart. I feel like a balance can be reached. Um, let's see what's below the surface here, because I almost feel here we got the Six of Swords, which is letting old ways go, see things from a higher perspective. Yeah, a little bit of um, Five of Wands energy here is a little bit of like conflict. It's almost like, yeah, we can barter. Yeah, I can give you this if you give me this. And you're like, that's like way, you know, you're getting way more out of the deal than I am kind of energy, right? So I like this, that you are able to kind of bring it back to where it's more of a balanced kind of approach that comes in there. So I like that overall. Um, it seems positive. I feel like there can be, you're gonna have to barter with the bartering, right? Or, um, and don't be afraid to ask for what you want and stand your ground with it too, because I feel like there's, you know, they might just ask for a little bit too much. It's like it's not equal. It's like, well, maybe I'll give you that, but I'd also would like that in addition to that, And they're like, "Oh, that's too much. You need to throw in that." And you're like, "Well, I'll throw in that, but you also need to throw in this then." And they're like, Alright, I think that's fair. You know? Everyone's always trying to get more, right? So let's see what the fortune cookie brings in for that as well here. What else? What else for this meeting? Alright, thank you. And you've got listen, yeah, it's a great card, listen from the tower. So and I like that. That's something about, when we're instead of trying to control, we can be curious, and I love that. I read that. I think that was in the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. It was like, be curious. So understand what they're wanting and not just go in trying to get what we want, right? I like that. Be curious because that's how we find that. Says, how do I listen to others? As if everyone were my beloved master speaking to me, his cherished last words? Not normally. I'm usually listening to see how I'm going to rebuttal, right? Every day and in every way, we are involved in the great conversation. You talk to, let's see, you talk to the greater by expressing your wishes, hopes, and desires. You receive greater's answer by listening to snatches of conversation in an elevator, to song lyrics on the radio, to the words, signs, and symbols that come your way in any situation. You also listen through intentional silence, welcoming the presence that knows and shares all. Let yourself become a student of keen listening. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Use that sacred ratio to gain more clarity and intimacy with greater, capital G, greater, which is the higher self. So I love that. So that is what they have for that one, Sean. So thank you so much for your donation. I do see you have a second one that came in here. So let's see here. We will add you in here after yep, after Michelle Smith. There. And then I just have one come in. Susie PayPal. Yep, Maria P. All right, Maria. I see there. And then hello. Good to see you, Maria. I'll add your free reading onto the list as well. Yep, I think that's it done there. I don't think I missed anyone else. Nope. All right. All right. So we'll continue on. Let me take a quick sip here of this hot coffee. Yeah, I'll keep that on there for now. All right. So, footwork, you are up. Here is your timestamp. Boom, boom, boom. And thank you for your donation. We'll give that a love and a like. Whoops. Try that again. One more time. There we go. A love and a like there. Need like a general. All right. Let's see what we got going on here for you this evening. And then after this, we'll have Michelle Smith, and then Sean G, and then Maria P. Sorry, let me grab that real quick. I copied that, but I was going to copy this too. Make sure I put you on the list up here. There we go. All right. So let's see what we got here for you. Valerie, footwork. All right. So what do we have for Valerie? Footwork. Okay, thank you. What else? These 4 leading to these 2 down to that one. All right. Just scooch these over. All right. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Justice card here. And in this one, it's card number 8. They're bringing that up. So in the original tarot, it was the Justice card was 8 and the Strength card was number 11. Then later they switched them around in other editions of the tarot. Libra energy, the house of relationship, but it is, of course, about balance and seeing things from a higher perspective and cutting away some old thinking that we have to see things from that higher perspective to help balance stuff out so that we see things more clearly in life. That can be in any area. Of course, we'll see what they're zeroing in on here on these other cards. That's just on the bottom of the deck. Your first card that came out that made itself known is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is about putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, making the progress, seeing the fruit of your labor. And there is this kind of underlying message of just continue to do the work, continue just one step at a time. Don't look at like, I have an order to do 1,000 things. It's like just the next one. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Is the kind of energy that's coming in through this card for you. So it's like there's a lot, we can get overwhelmed if we look at the whole big picture of the 10,000 steps. Let's just look at the very next step and enjoy the very next step and enjoy the very next step. There's a little bit of, you know, choosing to be happy in this moment today, not I can be happy when, and have it set to an outcome because then we're never happy. We get to that outcome, we think we're going to be happy, but if we can't be happy today, we won't be happy then either because we'll be looking for the next thing after that. So it's about coming into enjoying what you're doing in the moment and just keep doing the next thing, and not be projected way, way into the future is kind of what I'm feeling with that card. After that, you do have the Maiden of Cups, yeah, the Page of Cups. What is what makes your heart sing? What makes you feel, you know, happy and let your joy lead you? And it's kind of being in the joy of the moment. In whatever we do, if we're like trying to get out of this moment into the next moment, we're just kind of cheating ourselves out of this moment because again, if we define and say I can only be happy when I'm giving away my power. When I realize I can be happy every moment, whatever I'm doing, it doesn't matter. Takes away the pressure of trying to get somewhere, and it's about being present in this moment and sitting in that gratitude, that joy of the moment. Let's see where this is leading you here. You got four cards that came out together. Let's see what we got. Here we have the Six of Swords, which is about leaving behind some old ways of thinking, seeing things from that higher perspective. There's that Justice card, Libra energy. It allows you movement of thought, which comes in, has movement in the outside world too. You have the Five of Cups, which is, again, there's that power of emotional choice energy coming in there, and the Tower. So there is this movement, removal of something out of your life. And then you have the Hierophant too, which is the major arcana number of 5. So you've got all this change energy, this Tower card coming in, but I don't feel like it's something that's being struck out of your life where you're like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" I feel like it's you consciously removing something or someone out of your life that feels like an obstacle, and it feels like a weight rather than something that would help you be freer. So this change, it's because you're beginning here questioning, why do I feel I have to stay in this situation, or that I have to do things a certain way or be with a certain person or situation, right? And it's like, no, I get to, um, have this removed out of my life so that I can move forward. But I feel like it's not a tower where something's being removed out of your life for you. I feel like it's you going, "You know what? That needs to go," or zap, and you're zapping it out of your life. That's more so the energy I'm picking up with that. Which leads you to the Empress. Yeah, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, creativity that allows you to have this harvest, this moving forward. It's almost like they're showing me you have to burn down a forest to have, like where the soil and everything will grow back more healthier. Sometimes we have to let something fall away to come back in a bigger way, if that makes sense with how forest fires and stuff work. But this is about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. nurturing yourself too, and allowing yourself to choose from a place for yourself. Yeah, and the Emperor. So both your divine masculine, both your divine feminine energy coming in here on one hand. But if this was a love reading, this is about realizing you are an empress, not a queen, and you deserve an emperor, not just a king or a prince or somewhere, you deserve to have someone that is like you, that can give you what you can give, not someone where you would end up being the one giving to someone else, right? Um, so it feels like there is this stepping into your power and your deservedness in this as well. But I do feel like it comes after this. I've got to remove this thing or person or situation out of my life. Then I get this because I chose for me and I know what I deserve kind of energy. After that, you do have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, there's this quest of seeing your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. So I do feel like that is for you here. It is this journey and this awareness. Again, that whole thing of seeing that you are worthy of something and that you deserve that. And you have both the power to put things into action, but also to whatever you can't do, you can ask creator for and become that chalice to receive from spirit as well. Yeah, this is you. This is you. Here is your timestamp if you want to jump back to it, to the beginning. And then let me grab your fortune cookie here. And we'll see what else they have here for you. All right. So here is your fortune cookie. What else for footwork here? What else for footwork? What else do you want to know? Thank you. And you have, yeah, receive your blessings. What a perfect card for this reading. It is all about that. And it's card number 6 too, which is the number of unconditional love and mother. So that's that mother nature, mother nurture energy coming in here as well. Come on. There it is. It says, the desert knows the blessing of rain like we, kindness. One of the hardest things to do is receive, but you're called to do just that. The same hands that open freely to give must also remain open for the receiving from others, from life and from the greater. Heal the discomfort that comes from receiving without strings. Be vulnerable and allow the goodness to flow towards you without suspecting costs. You're worth every good and beautiful thing this world can serve up to you. There you go, the message of worth. So I love that. Receive your blessings. So beautiful reading. That's what they have for you. Footwork. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. Let's see. I think I saw someone else had come in here. Yeah. Who that? Welcome. Good to see you. All right. Not really happy with Sagittarius. He seems to think Pisces was Sagittarius instead. And I think there's a question in there. So we'll pull cards for you. I'll add you to the free list here. Pardon me. All right. And then we are to Michelle Smith. You are up at 105 even. So here, use your timestamp, Michelle. And let's take a look here. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. And then I did see your additional one come in there, Maria. So I'll put ×2 there. All right. So, Michelle, Cash App donation. Boom, boom. Thank you so much for your donation via Zcash app. And your question is that you will be selling food from your home to supplement your income. Will it be profitable? You have a passion for cooking. Yeah. My host loves to cook. She's diving into trying different things. I'm the little I'm not a good guinea pig because my taste buds are like I eat bland all the time. So when someone adds spice, I'm like, this is so good. It's like everything tastes good to me. I'm like, I'm not a good determiner, but I will eat everything that you cook. Ba- Virtually anyway. All right, let's take a look here, Michelle. So will this be profitable based on current energies? All right, let's see what they have here and what else they'd like you to know. Any advice? Anything that would help with this here? All right. Yeah, you got the 4 of Wands here. I like this energy on the bottom because this is joyful celebration. And I feel like you might have people kinda go, "Well, do you cater?" And you'd be like, "Well, I don't know," you know? So it's something to think about, um, and it may not be catering, like, the full meals and all that if you don't wanna do that big of an effort, but it can be, like, creating something, like, I'm just thinking, like, because 'cause we're in the holiday season, Christmas cookies, for the office. I can sell those, to 'cause people that don't wanna bake a bunch of stuff, and if you enjoy baking and cooking, it's like, "Yeah, we have this little special dinner or a little some sort of joyful occasion, someone's birthday, um, someone's sick, you want to send them soup, I've got a special chicken soup to give to someone if they're not feeling well," So I like that, that they're thinking celebrate how can you celebrate, you know? But it's joyful celebrations is the energy that's coming in here, as an idea, I feel, but also it's a positive energy, as well. But look more specific. You do have the 4 of Cups, so you've got this solid foundation energy here. Excuse me, there are 2 sides to the 4s, 2 and 2. Um, let's see what this other card next to it is too. Yeah, the Queen of Wands, which shows here about it's gonna be successful depending on what you focus on, right? Because if you focus on what you're loving, and what you are grateful for, it will do well. If you focus on the lower vibration of what's not working well and the lower things, then you get more of that. So I do feel like here with these 4s, I'm getting a different energy than I normally do, which is the power of choice on both sides. But it's a solid foundation. You can have a solid foundation in either direction, whichever you spend the most on, right? Let's see what else we have. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles. So there's the financial abundance that it can help do that, especially holidays or special occasions and stuff. People are like, "Ugh, I got so much to think about. I wish I could just ask someone to do this one thing." And if you think about, the little niche that you could have on different things that you can offer, I feel like you can get creative with that. And I feel like there's something like different holidays coming up, even Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, Christmases, Kwanzaa, um, Hanukkah. There's all this different stuff that we can be like, what can we do around that maybe? Underneath that, you do have the 7 of Pentacles. Might take a little bit of patience and time to see the fruit of your labor. But you got the 6 of Pentacles. There's this equal giving and receiving energy here. And that is showing that you do have enough to help yourself and help others too. So it does feel like it'll be financially abundant there for you. We have the Wheel of Fortune too, which is positive energy, and the 9 of Cups, like a dream come true. So there is a lot more to this. I feel like, when you're living your passion and doing what you love, don't be afraid to ask for what you want, though. Like, don't diminish your going, "Well, I enjoy this. Well, I'll just give them a good price, a lower price." Well, I don't really need to profit a ton. This will be enough. Just don't be afraid to ask for what you're wanting, as well. Because there's people that'll be like, yeah, that's definitely worth it. Sure. So I like that. I like that kind of message coming in there for you. You also have the Seven of Swords and the King of Wands. Yeah, the only thing that can stop you is your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that steal opportunities from you. It's that trying to do what you think everyone else wants you to do and how they want you to do it. It's about you being creative and being, you know, more true to yourself to do it. And be aware here of, deceitful people and if anyone wants you to sign contracts and all that. Definitely with that. That's just the be aware that um people sometimes are dishonest, and that's okay. We just start going with our eyes wide open, and you don't, they're like, "Hey, we can do all this and we'll pay you when you deliver." You're like, "Well, actually I need like 75% upfront to help buy the materials and everything to prep it all. So if I could just get that from you, then I'll be happy to get started on it." Because otherwise you end up with all this stuff and like, "Oh, we couldn't do it after all." And you're stuck with all the food and all the stuff and they leave you high and dry, right? So it's about, that's the hardest thing when you're doing what you love is to do that. So I like that message for you. Nothing to be afraid of, just more, like I said, going in with your eyes wide open. Yeah, you have the 7 of Cups. This feels like this represents a lot of different people, and the Ace of Wands too. I just feel like the 7 of Cups here are like 7 different people that become like they spread the word. They're just like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna tell all my friends." And I feel like this Ace of Wands is that spark. It sparks, and I feel like word of mouth is how, it spreads about you, a lot. It's like you don't even have to advertise a whole lot, if at all. I just feel like word of mouth, it just is like, uh, yeah, eyes wide open, right? So, I like that. And let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here, but it looks like it's really good here. But I feel like getting creative and inventive and on things that, are like people hate to, oh God, what do I got to do? Um, like I said, for some reason, I keep on getting like someone sick, and we have, Mama Michelle's special chicken noodle soup, you know, um, or broth or something, for those who are vegetarian, and it's interesting. Yeah, I like it. Practice tenderness. Got a beautiful, is that a finch or a hummingbird? I'm not sure. Could be either one. But it says tenderness is what I am when my heart governs and I realize how much so many in this world have suffered. It's in your best interest to be very tender with yourself and with all of life. Vulnerability doesn't keep us safe, but it does keep us open. And an open heart is one of the strongest, most powerful tools in the world. Cultivate a practice of self compassion and tenderness towards all of life in order to become more like the friend, the capital T, the capital F friend who created you. So I love that. I like that. So many blessings to you. And that is what they have for you. So thank you again for your donation and hopefully enjoy that cooking. All right. So let me see here. Did we have anyone else come in here? Nope. All right. So, Shanji, we're circling back around for number 2 for you, and you got 1:15:15. Look at that. Like the timestamps here. All right. And then I saw your question up here. What are N's thoughts and feelings on you after your last conversation? All right. Let's take a look here. So, what are N's thoughts and feelings on you after your last conversation? So, N thoughts and feelings. And anything else? Okay. That one there. All right. Interesting. I'm going to take a quick sip here of this coffee. Cheers, everybody. It's interesting. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Lover's card. That's there. Underneath that, we do have the Death card. And underneath that, the Hermit. So there's a lot below the surface underneath all this here, too. Death and rebirth and this being alone kind of energy. Major Arcana. So it feels like there's a lot going on with N. Let's see what we have here. So, what were their thoughts, first of all? We do have the sun, all these major arcana. My God. So, there is this energy here, there's this bit of a bright light shining on things, the warmth and the passion and the fire, that's within them. If this is not romantic, it would be like inspiration, but it definitely feels like there's this strong draw with that. What's underneath with next to that? Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles. It's like the Empress energy, right? Queen of Pentacles, this mother nature, mother nurture kind of sensuality that's there. And I feel like they were just it brought a lot of awareness around how caring you can really be. And there's just this grounding emotional kind of goddess energy that's there, right? Empress energy that comes in. And I feel like there's almost like they're mentally from their mind, it's like um, you're you're so much more than I ever thought and was aware. It was like suddenly it was just like this wake up call. Their brain was like, hello, McFly, Interesting. Let's see what their emotions and their feelings were, because that's their mind awareness. Their heart, the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, the heart here, all in, right? 10 of Pentacles, abundance, fullness. It's a relationship energy. They can see legacy. There's also this 7 of Pentacles, slowness energy, and the Ace of Swords. There is the clarity, the mind coming in here. So I feel like the 7 of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords is the mental energy going, whoa, 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 slow down. The heart's all in, like, let's go. And the mind's like, wait, 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 wait. So um we'll take a look here and see what else they want you to know here, but it feels like there's this confliction, this importance of relationship with the Lover's card, this death and this rebirth. Like, is this something that I can bring back from the ashes? Um, in this hermit energy, feels like they have this natural tendency to pull in when they're feeling vulnerable because they've learned that when they get taken advantage of. And the whole thing is no one can take advantage of you unless they let you. But that's the whole thing is they don't feel like they can. In the past, they couldn't help it because the heart, woo, and not with you, but with other experiences in their life more so. Um, but I feel like this is a lot what's coming here. What else did they want you to know here? Yeah, the 8 of Swords, like a little hamster, or I think it's hamster or a rat. But there's this letting go of these mindsets, and I like the 8 of Swords with them because they are letting go of some old thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that used to make him feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted, so it kind of feels like they've got this clarity that's come in here. through this here. But so I like that. Um, I don't feel like I feel a lot of observation energy, but not a whole lot of decision making energy, if that makes sense. Like I'm thinking and whittling it out in my head and having that kind of come to some sort of conclusion sometime. But I feel like they're processing and they're doing a lot of reflection after your last meeting. So hopefully that helps. See what your fortune cookie for this one is. I feel like these huffies are short enough that I'll think I'll just give one for each donation. So let's see what this one brings in here. What else around them here? Yeah, love unabashedly. Can't make it up. So there's this draw that comes in, but they hold themselves back so much. Their brain holds them back so much. Because it says, once the moon and I got arrested for such wild love in public. So we now meet secretly, but don't let that hold you back. We often measure love, how much we're getting, how much we're giving, as if love could be put on a scale. But love is a wild thing, born to be free. Let it romp and graze and frolic through the forests of your psyche. Take no stock of who owes you or what is adequate, appropriate, or sane when it comes to loving your life and dreams. Wow. Love freely, give it away, keep no tally. When you stop keeping score, love wins. So do you. Wow. Interesting. Look, there's the sun that we got there too. Interesting. 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 All right. That's what they have for you, Sean, there. And I think I did see an additional one come through. So thank you for your multiple donations. I'll add you onto the list. We'll circle back around here. We've got Maria up next with two, and then you'll be up after that. And then Sudeshna, you'll be up after that. Hey, Sudeshna, welcome. Good to see you. What was that footwork? Thanks for that. So I'm meeting a millionaire. Woohoo! I send that out to the universe for you, footwork. We can focus on gratitude. Thank you for bringing the perfect person to you, right? All right. So let's take a look here. See, that was that one here. All right. So Maria P, you are up for number one. Here's your first one, and then we'll circle back around for number two here in a moment. And let me get over here to your PayPal. So thank you for your first donation. And let's see what we got going on here. Thank you guys so much for being here again. I'm so grateful. And for your patience in getting to your reading. I know some nights spirit gets chatty, chatty, chatty. And thanks for all the thumbs up too. It does help spread the Zen love. So thanks for doing that. It's something you can do for free to help spread the love and show me a little love. I'm so grateful for that. All right, Maria, let's take a look here. Wally's thoughts and feelings. Thoughts and feelings coming flying out after your date. Why did he keep saying, "You okay? You seem very happy." Yeah. Are you okay? Are you on drugs? Anything he didn't like about today? Is he happy and in love with you? Dark side update. And when you spoke about your divorce, his thoughts. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So Wally's thoughts and feelings coming in here. Yeah, there's this bit of progression here. I got the 5 of cups to the 6 of cups here. And there's this energy. They were thinking about, how when they're feeling down, just how spending time with you just takes them back. And something about the kids here too with the 6 of cups. Um, I feel like he just, the 5 of cups is about a change of emotion going from lower to higher and going up to that 6 of cups, the steadiness and this. kind of like this. I feel like one, it feels childlike, like it goes back to those times where you feel like you don't have a lot of restrictions and you're just enjoying the moment like a kid that's wandering without being told, "No, no, 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 no." And there's this great energy, this great flow that comes in here. And there's something about maybe you talk about your children and he just loves how you light up when you talk about them. And, um, but there's this great energy here. I feel like he was really focusing in just on how his emotions change when he hangs around with you, and that it just feels so different. Like, no matter how he's feeling, he always leaves. Unless you guys have a fight, of course, but, um, that's a very small percentage of the time, right? You guys are like, "Wow." So I feel like he was focusing in on that. Um, why did he keep asking if you're okay? "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Yeah, the Empress. He seemed very happy and, I like this fullness and abundance and, um he just said you it's almost like you're like they feel like they're like a king, but you're an empress, and I feel like there's a little insecurity that comes in with that of feeling like, "Are you okay? You seem really, really, really happy. Like what's happened that's made you so happy?" More curiosity than insecurity, because it's like, well, it's a little combo of both. Because I'm like, "What made you so happy?" Is it me? I feel like he wanted to know, was it him that was making you happy? Or what is it? Because he likes seeing you this way. He likes seeing you happy, and he wants to make sure that more of that happens in your life, and he's wondering if it's something that he can make happen as well, you know? So I feel like that was more about from an abundance empress kind of feel, not a lower vibration kind of feel. Anything he didn't like about today? We got the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is this, it almost feels like it was too quick. The Ace of Pentacles is like the first pentacle, right? The first thing of the outside world. Um, but it just feels like it it slipped away because it even looks like they're trying to reach for something, and it's like it was just almost felt like like they were like it felt too short. I wanted to spend more time, kind of energy. Um, is he happy and in love with you? King of Swords. He definitely it's funny that we get a big thinking card in here. He definitely is happy. He just goes into his head so much. He overthinks and thinks about things, has so much on his mind that I feel like he doesn't I don't know, I feel like maybe you feel like he's not present, um, as much as he has been in the past. He's got so much in his brain right now that, he's very distracted by things, and he's trying to so much to focus, but his mind wanders, and he tries to come back. So, the distraction that you're experiencing isn't isn't because he doesn't care, that he's not, happy or not in love with you. He's just got a lot on his brain with Christmas and holidays and family and work and, getting out of the situation they're in, and then he wants to, um, have a lot of important thoughts around you guys too. So there's just a lot on his mind. Darkness updates. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, the fear of lack, not being enough, of being abandoned, being left out in the cold. So there is that fear that's there. And that's one of the big things that they've been working on, right? Is I want to make sure I have enough, like they have enough, that I have enough too. I don't want to leave a situation and me be starving, and shoot myself in the foot. I want to make sure this is done where they're secure, but I'm also financially secure and I have my stuff too. So I feel like that's a big piece of what's on their mind with that. When you spoke about your divorce, their thoughts, yeah, a lot of different emotions the 7 of Cups coming in. Feel like they were feeling a lot of what you were feeling. And the King of Wands, it made him think about my choices, what I wanna do next, and, how I wanna leave situations, and so I feel like it did you know, they picked up that you were talking about it. What's underneath the surface here? Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles. Here's that Empress, Queen of Pentacles energy, right? What's under the surface is, it made them think about they wanna do things right, but they also wanna do things right, for their situation too. They don't wanna leave someone high and dry and be the villain. They already know that they're ending and going different directions, but he wants to make sure, that they're taken care of and that they don't leave him in a bad place. Cause and that tells you something, right? It's like, well, you should just treat them that way. Well, if ever in the future you want them to treat you that way, no, you want them to, do the same, right? Let's see what else around Wally and you here. Sorry, I dropped half the deck here. Wow. All right, so this is the one. What is this? Create silence. Yeah. Silence of the mind, not silence of the lambs. Card 39. Beautiful card. This says the moon could speak, but never does, because she has found something of so much greater worth: silence. Sit still and listen to the silence. Lay the distractions of the world at your doorstep and move toward the center of your heart where there is quiet, not the head. That's all supposed to be, should be, need to be, and all that stuff, right? All those expectations. Your soul has secrets to tell, but it speaks in whispers. Lay your ear down toward that soul space and listen deeply. Where there was noise and chaos, now there is abundance and ease. Where there were warring thoughts, now there is peace. Silence will be your lover tonight. Court her, and the mystery will offer itself up to you, rolling in ecstasy at your feet. Yeah, it's getting out of our heads and enjoying what is, right? We talk about that all the time. This is about getting out of the head and into the emotions of the moon, right? Going to the heart. This is the troublemaker, right? Are they doing this? Why aren't they doing this? What do they say? How do they feel? Blah, 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 blah. Our mind analyze, compare, contrast, judge. Our heart just loves, right? And that's what they're saying. Shh to the mind and open the heart. So I love that for you. Right. So that's for number one for you. And then for number two, here is your second timestamp. Go. And let's jump over here. All right. So thank you for your additional donation. All right. So let's shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Get these refreshed, and we'll look at your regarding work. All right. Let's try that again. So I drop half the cards. Butterfingers. All right. Let me take a quick sip of coffee here. All right. Done with coffee. Let me move my cold tea. I'll put it on here and heat it up. All right. We got to warm up the tea, right? Get the tea. So what's coming for you at work? Let's see, based on current energies, what's coming your way? All right. Boom, boom, boom. And then is Dr. Bob happy with your work and thoughts on you? All right. Happy with you. Thoughts on Dr. Laura's thoughts on you. Okay. David's thoughts on you. Okay. And then did Walter like your new haircut? Anything Walter's planning or a gathering tomorrow for a holiday work gathering? All right. So what's coming for you at work? So you've got the 5 of Swords, the 7 of Swords, and the 10 of Pentacles. So 5 of Swords is a little bit of conflict, but this feels internal. And 7 of Swords. It's 5 and 7, I mean, that can be like, you know, conflict with people and, lies and deceit and blah, blah, blah. I don't feel that all there. The this is very mental energy, and it's about conflict inside of me between my head and my heart. And the Seven of Swords is like awareness around what of your own thoughts and beliefs steal opportunities and stuff out of your life, right? And that's what's keeping you from this 10 of Pentacles here. So you have these possibilities of abundance that's there, but it's almost like your stories inside your head, and it could even be some subconscious beliefs, are like sabotaging your big leaps of success. And it's like doubting what you think you can do or what you think other people think you can do, because there's something below the surface and all that. So something to look at with that. Um, Dr. Bob, are they happy with you in Knight of Cups? Yeah, this movement of emotion here doesn't mean it has to be romantic, but it's like, yeah, it's a positive movement of emotion. I feel like they're kind of a down to earth, heart filled person, and they really like that. His thoughts on you? Yeah, the Hanged Man here. This is that you see things from a different perspective, and that you're in this, you've been transforming and growing, and they've seen your growth, like from a caterpillar to a chrysalis, and I feel like you're about to step out as a butterfly. But they definitely see that you've been changing, and transforming yourself. Positive energies there. Doctor's lowest thoughts on you? Yeah, we got the Six of Cups and the High Priestess. They're more of a secret person. They kinda hold things back. In fact, there might even be some past life connection with both the High Priestess and the Six of Cups here. So there might be some, like, friction that's there, but it's not anything that your human has done. I feel like there's just this, if you ever meet somebody and you just feel like why do we have trouble communicating, or like there's a block or there's something there? It's because it's a past life energy that's there. So try not to focus in on that. Just try to, you know, be how you are now. She's like someone that goes away and pulls back, and um I don't want to say she's suspicious, but she's always just wondering about things. And I feel like you do remind her of someone from her past, like in this lifetime from her past too. And it feels very unconscious with it though. So it's not anything that you're doing. It's just you remind her. And that's the whole thing with mirrors. But nothing to be concerned about. I think just something to be aware of. David's thoughts on you. Yeah, there's this, we got the 10 of cups. There's joy, joy, joy here, and the 4 of cups. Is this, emotional stability kind of energy here? But I feel like, it's all there's a lot of emotion that's there. Um, but I feel like there might be a little bit of a crush that's there, and the 4 of cups. I feel like they kind of have these feelings, but they also, with the 4 of cups, are like, but I'm just not going to act on this because I know that this is just kind of infatuation or whatever, and it'll wear off like it always does with everyone. I feel like they fall and get interest in a lot of people, but um, they've learned to just kind of don't do anything about it because it goes away. That's funny. Did Walter like your new haircut? Yeah, we got the power of Chariot here is victory and movement. Oh yeah, they did. I feel like they like all of your hairdos that you've had. Um, yeah, I feel like they would say you look good in anything and nothing. But a bunch. Um, and then is Walter planning uh anything Walter's planning in your gathering tomorrow for holiday work gathering? Oh wow. We got the lovers card here and the emperor. I feel like this is power of emotional choice. I feel like they haven't finalize things. It's tomorrow, right? I feel like they've been thinking about things. They've got a couple options available, but I feel like with these combination here, they do have a couple things that they could do, but I feel like it's supposed to be a surprise. They're like, yeah, I am. There's a few things that I want to do. And you're like, what is it? You'll see. You'll see. Oh, so that's what they have for you there. Right. Let's see what your other fortune cookie is here as well. All right. What else? Well, why don't half the deck keep on falling out for you here? So many messages. So many messages. All right, here you go. Let's see. We got keep the faith. Keep the faith. I like that little elephant chasing after a butterfly. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, there's that butterfly. We're talking about the chrysalis, right? Dr. Bob coming out of the chrysalis. It says, faith turns into experience. And there is something I have seen that would make even the most sophisticated atheists sing, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, indeed, there is God. If it didn't open, it's not your door. But this doesn't mean you should quit knocking. Keep showing up, keep knocking. Faith is the awareness that you're not alone on this journey. Another travels with you, inside you, and that one urges you to stay true to your visions. The doors that are yours will open as easily as a butterfly unfurling its wings. One moment, an impossibility of cocoon and chrysalis. The next moment, wonder, awe, color, and flight. Wow, beautiful. I love that. So there you go. There's you flying away. Boo-doo-doo. All right. So that's what they have for you, Maria. Thank you again for your donations. I greatly appreciate that. All right. So Sean G, you are up for number 3. So thank you for your multiple donations this eve. Move that out of the way there. All right. And then Sudeshna, you'll be up after this. All right. So Sean G, thank you for the donation via Zcash app. So you just got a call from your uncle and it went left. What was his energy towards you? Were you wrong? Never. How could you even ask? I'm just kidding. Let's take a look here. So, what was his energy? Well, let's find out what's going on here. What does Spirit want you to know about? What was the source of the conflict from their end, right? What was going on over there? And then, were you wrong? All right, we'll take a look here. Yeah, we got the Four of Swords on the bottom. So the Four of Swords it's a card of expectations. It's about resting, but it's about letting go of expectations kind of energy because that's what brings conflict, right? Is when we are battling, when we think that this is what someone should say or not say, do or not do, and then someone does that or doesn't do something, and then we're disappointed, and then our inner child feels unsafe or out of control, and then our intelligent, loving, compassionate side gets booted out, and then swords are fired, arrows are fired at one another, right? And that's generally what happens if there's ever a conflict. It means someone went into fear and then someone joined them. So, and there's not right or wrong in any situation. There's just different choices that were made that brought different experiences and different outcomes. And I like that approach from Spirit because they don't judge things as right or wrong, good, bad, worse, better. It's just different. And could you handle it differently? Of course, you could have handled it more lower vibrational, higher vibrational, but know that we always do the best we can in each moment. So did they, with what knowledge they had, what energy they were in, and what environment they felt they were in. Both of you, right? We always do our best. All humans do, and we won't do things the same later because we'll learn from it just as we might have had a worse situation earlier in our lifetimes that we don't repeat because we're like, I didn't like the way that I felt when I did that, said that, didn't do that, didn't say that. So I'm not going to do that again. Well, maybe we did it, repeated it several times until we're like, I'm stopping this because that feels ugly, you know? And so we learn and we grow from it. And we'll see what's coming in here. But I feel like with that Four of Swords on the bottom, they're talking about conflict and where the source of it is. And so, um, and I like you said that you got a call from your uncle and the call went left. They didn't go left. You didn't go, left, but the conversation did. It didn't go the way that I wanted, that I would have liked it to go. And that's important to realize and reflect on and go, how did you want it to go and why didn't it? That's how you learn and grow from it, right? But let's take a look here and see what does spirit want you to know about it going left? The Knight of Pentacles. There is this quest of seeing our worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And here's the Five of Wands, the budding horns, two stubborn stags battling in the forest. That's how it turned into, right? Um, you not doing what they want you to do, and them not doing what you want them to do, right? So you went at it with the horns, right? And because when someone every moment is either an expression of love or of it's a cry out for love. And so if someone, says, well, you shouldn't done that, you should do it with the way I think you should do it, and we're like, oh, wow, you just called me stupid in my head, right? And it's like, no, they didn't. This is their fear of being out of control. They're expressing it. It's not about us. They're expressing to us how they're feeling, right? But I like this awareness of the where does the fire came from, right? Your trigger was your own, if they say you triggered me, no, you didn't. They were triggered by the conversation, but you can't trigger anything because their triggers inside them, but neither can they trigger you. Their actions just were, but we were triggered by the conversation. So that's my trigger. What can I look at for myself, right? Underneath that surface, we do have the Eight of Cups. There's this fear of walking away or desire to walk away from relationships that don't serve. We have the Two of Cups, which is emotional choice. And that is one of our fears that take us into fight or flight mode, right? Is the fear of abandonment, the fear of not being good enough. And with those two combined, this is an energy of um, that I can choose every moment how I feel, regardless of what someone's actions or non-actions, their words or their silence are, that they couldn't make me feel a certain way either. They can't make me trigger, they can't make me feel. I chose to feel a certain way by habit, by reaction, by trigger, but I can look at that. I own my emotions, but you also don't have to own theirs. That was their emotional choices. You can only come back to here. Underneath both of those together, we got the Eight of Pentacles. In both these eights here, there's this energy, I feel like, from your uncle that, they feel like they put in the blood, the sweat, the tears. They deserve a reward. They deserve to receive kind of energy with this. Um, with whoever, oh, was this with a situation with them? And I feel like there's some lost feelings 'cause, was that your dad's brother? The uncle? 'Cause there feels like there's this lost energy and they feel like, there's this kind of "I deserve" kind of energy somewhere, um, but, and that has to do with their self-worth and expectations, and you're like, that's those are your expectations." But were you wrong? Let's see what spirit says about that for you here. You got the Star card. This is this beautiful Aquarius energy. I have to say beautiful Aquarius because I'm an Aquarius, but it is this energy of hope. But it's also about not doing things the normal way and that, quirkiness. And I'm all about quirky because that's my my CEO of my life is Aquarius, Uranus energy. Doing things differently. You weren't wrong, you were different, right? You handled it differently than they expected, which threw them off, right? You have the Queen of Wands, yeah, you're fire. And the King of Wands, King and Queen of Wands. Two fiery personalities. Again, coming back to this, it's just a good picture. You're two very strong individuals, and when there's two strong individuals and no one backs down, that's when you lock horns, right? And underneath all that, you got justice. Things will balance out here with the Libra. This is a relationship. They roll over Libra rules over the house of relationship of everyone, not just romance and stuff, but there is that balancing energy. Things will, you know, you guys will communicate and work it out, especially when you calm down. When the fire, the flames go and the smoke clears, then you'll be like, you know what? Um, one of you will eventually, you know, reach out again and communicate and go. And especially if you reflect on why it went the way that it did, you can take ownership only for your part in it. You can go, you know what I realized? We're both stubborn. And they're like, you ain't wrong, you know? So, you know, if you want to, have a relationship with them, I feel like that, admitting it, not just saying you're stubborn, saying, I realized we lock horns because we are both stubborn, and I feel like they would laugh. They'd be like, "Yep, not the first time I heard that." Let's see what the fortune cookie comes in around this too, but um, I feel like it's a good learning experience from it, right? Yeah, pause for reflection. Yeah, so it's a time to reflect upon what happened between the two of you, to understand it, not to defend it or to attack it, but to just reflect upon it and go, what was I afraid of? Why did my trigger go off? And then once you understand yourself, you can go, I wonder why their trigger went off. And you probably get some good ideas and some intuition that comes in. Says the moon reflected on all she had seen for millions of years. And her conclusion, as ours will be, is luminous. Says create a space to reflect on all you know and the insight you've gathered from your recent experience. Sit inside that sacred space and be still. Listen, consider. Now is not the time for action, but for waiting. The master doesn't strive or chase. She is present and can welcome all things in their own time. Interesting. I love that though, but it's all about reflecting on the two flowers, kind of seeing yourself as a third person, not as the two individuals that were involved in it, but kind of step outside of it and try to experience it from not a judgmental place, but just as a what happened and let me understand what happened, not to determine blame or fault, but just to understand, be curious about why I responded the way I did or reacted and why they reacted the way they did. Where could they have been coming from and go, "Oh, yeah, I see where the fear of where they were coming from." Because when we're in conflict, it means we were in fear, you know? That's how it works. Otherwise, we're in love and we're not arguing. We're just loving, loving, loving. Yeah, it is possible sometimes. All right, so that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your multiple donations. I greatly appreciate that. All right. Then we are to Sudeshna. Here is your timestamp. Thank you for your donation. I'll give that a love and a like here. This is actually my last donation, so if I don't get any others, we will start on to free readings. Either way, if I do get donations at 2.5 hours, then I will step off to complete free readings. So if we happen to get more, hang in there. We're almost there. All right. So Sudesh, now you want to know the next 72 hours for you, please, and guidance. Let's take a look. All right. So for the next 24 hours, got that. That is the next 24, and then the next 24. Okay, got two for the final day. And then underline energy and guidance for day one, day two, and day three. Got two for that too. All right. All right. So these next 3 days, you do have the overall energy of all three together is the Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, birthing, harvest. There's like this mothering energy that's coming in here. I feel like you're going to be around a lot of people, but you're in this space of, I almost feel like Mother Moon, reflecting and caring for people, helping people recover kind of energy coming in here too. I just feel like, yeah, underneath that, you do have, yeah, it's the Five of Cups. So it's helping people transform and change kind of their emotions, like helping people not be sad and be happier and helping people go from anger to joy and or at least peace and quiet. I just feel like there's a lot of this weekend that you're in this nurturing role. This isn't about really you nurturing yourself, but you need to keep that in mind that you deserve all your nurturing first. But I feel like you're very active this weekend in nurturing others. Next 24 hours, yeah, you got the King of Cups helping people balance, bringing that emotional balance between head and heart coming in here under that surface. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of patience here in the first 24 hours. There's all the cycles of the moon, but the Seven of Pentacles is, the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. And I feel like you're trying to help someone and just when you think like, okay, they're not sad anymore, they start crying again and you're like, oh, I thought I had you to a space where you were that, but then they fall back and then you gently bring them back and then they fall back and they gently go and I just feel like it's, again, here's all that emotional energy that comes in, but I feel like don't be afraid to realize those who do that for attention and those who do that because they're not emotionally capable in the moment. And you'll know the difference, right? You'll just know it, right? And you know who those are. You're just like, do what you can, but when they slip back in, make it more about, asking them, what are you going to do about that? You know, obviously you're not feeling good. What are you going to do? Not feel like you have to solve that there. It's funny, I keep on bringing up that book, um, The Let Them Theory with Mel Robbins. They actually talk about that in there, about how to, help people take responsibility for themselves and where you don't have to. And so asking questions like that, "Well, what are you gonna do? What do you think you would wanna do about that?" You allow them to start thinking for themselves instead of feeling like you have to solve everything for them, right? So I feel like that's day 1, yay. Day 2, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Looks like you're spending some time recuperating by yourself here, having some alone time, taking some alone time. Yeah, so the Ace of Pentacles. So you can feel this reward, so you can feel this fullness here and really kind of reflect on your own worth in that second period, the second day, where you're just going, you know what? My definition doesn't rely on my relationship with others, my job, my education, my social status. My definition of my worth is inward and upward, right? It is priceless. It's rooted in the unconditional eternal love of the higher realms. I don't have to help anyone else if I don't want to, but I fill up with my self-love and then I help others. So this is about day 2 is taking time for you to recharge, take time for you to reflect and connect with spirit too. Day 3, you have the Justice card and the Knight of Pentacles. More patience time coming in here, and more balancing energy with the balancing energy of Libra and the scales of justice. So again, it's like ding ding, round 2. I feel like you're helping other people in day 3 to balance. Maybe the person on the other side of the scale, maybe you're in the middle between two people's interaction, but it feels like you're on the other side of the scale now, having patience with that person. Yeah, 3 of the swords. Someone that is dealing with some heartbreak and some disappointment, and I feel like you give them information here. You help balance this one where they realize, yeah, with this new perception, this new perspective that you're able to give them, you actually, um, allow them to see there's a different way to go with new information. They take a different route than they were gonna go. And I feel like it's a happier one, because under all that, after I take all those, we have the 10 of cups, which is happiness. And this is, I feel like you are acting more as a counselor this weekend. Like day one, you're like helping someone. Day two, you're like, I'm off by myself. And then day three, you're with, I feel like the other person on the other side of this situation from day one. But in the end, I feel like it ends up being a, uh, a situation where maybe someone was going to walk away from that other person that they don't, and they look at approaching it differently. Um, and it doesn't work out the way they all thought it was, but at least there's a different option. So interesting. You're like a counselor this weekend. Yay. That's fun. Deal with other people's drama. Like you get a break from your own drama, at least for day one and day three. Day two, you get to reflect and go, what did I learn about myself through that? Why did I want to experience this? Why am I in the middle of this? So I like that. You have create. Yeah, look at playing some music. Create here. This reminds me of the Nine of Pentacles, someone in the garden alone with spirit. And there is music here. Well, open right up to it. Create. It can be a wonderful joy creating. A synergy is there. The sweet centering grit of purpose can move through your veins and make you glad to be alive. Says now is the time to seek the nourishment of creation. The ecstasies and agonies of life are listless things until they flow through you, alchemically changing from experience to art during the act of creating. You are an artist and life is your canvas. So, whether you choose to create a sculpture, a poem, a dance, a new thought, a fresh belief, or a unique perspective, you have the power to change the world inside and around you through your unique creations. So, I do feel like that. You do create a different energy around for other people this weekend. So, I like that for you. So that's what they have for you, Sudeshna. I see you have another donation coming in here. So thank you for that. I'll jump to that as soon as I see the question there. Take a quick sip here. Interesting. Counselor Sudeshna. Cheers, everybody. All right. Yum, yum. I forgot that I had the ginger and lemon tea this evening. Let's see. So once I get to the free readings, we'll have them on Chloa, Touch of Love, Faith and Love, Gene XO, Patricia, Livier, D8F, Maria P, Hudat. So I got about 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll be able to get to all those this evening. I'm sure of it. And in fact, what I'll do here is, so take your time, Sudeshna, no pressure. I'm going to jump to a free reading here for Moncloa, just for the sake of time, and a general for tomorrow. All right, let's take a look here. So what does Spirit want you to know for tomorrow, Moncloa? You've got the Devil card and the Three of Wands. Yeah, there's a little bit of shaking and change here. The Devil card is about seeing your like perspective change. And with that Three of Wands, you end up going a different direction, or the situation ends up taking a different route, because you are learning about letting go of some expectations, some long held beliefs that don't serve you anymore that have been making you feel restricted and bound and trapped and small and limited, and that's one of the pathways that the 3 of Wands can be. And it's like, but I don't want to keep doing that. This, whatever this is that's coming up here, it's shaking your cage to show you and reveal to you, why do I believe this thing? Because otherwise, it's just going to be running on autopilot below the surface, and you're just going to keep doing the same thing, getting the same result. But some sort of conflict has come up lately to show you this is underneath the surface. So if you don't do something with this and go, it's just going to pop up later and bigger and bigger and bigger. So now is the time to look at it and go, you know what? Why do I think? Why am I so adamant that things have to go a certain way? Let me release that and look at ask your heart, what is it that you want to do, heart? The mind is the Capricorn, Saturn, devil card energy, the thinking, the old opinions that are saying things should happen a certain way. But this is about a change, making a change and going a different direction than you normally would because you're getting out of your head and you're getting into your heart instead. So I like that. All right. So that's what they have for you, Moncloa. So many blessings to you. All right. Sudeshna, thank you for your additional donation. Let's give you your other timestamp here. If I can, oh my gosh, if I could type. Fat fingering the keyboard, that doesn't help, but there we go. Or big fingered. I'm not fat, but I'm a huge person. I'm 6'4" tall. I know I'm a tall one. Let's give that donation a love and a like there. So, Mr. T and you, um, they were trying to talk to you in the group chat, so you behaved normally. His feelings, thoughts, and actions for you should you maintain distance. All right, let's take a look here. See what we got going on here. So his feelings, all right, thank you. Cards come flying out. Thoughts and actions towards you. And let's see here. Of course, there's not shoulds when it comes from spirit. So we'll approach it as, if you maintain distance, what kind of energy do you have? And if you don't maintain distance, what kind of energy would you experience based on current energies, of course? So I don't feel like we're going to look at the bottom of the deck here. Let's just take a look here. So, what are their feelings? Yeah, we've got that. And I feel like we've had this before. Feelings, they've got the Two of Swords. They're conflicted between their head and their heart. But we do have the Three of Cups here, which does tell us there's third party interest that's there involved too. So, there is conflict. They do have, feelings in their heart, but it's also conflicts with their thoughts, which we'll look at here too, of course. But there is a third emotional interest that they have, right? That's the Three of Cups, third party, when it's coming in here with this conflicting energy of the Two of Swords. And they do refer back to that. Their feelings are, because you guys butt heads and argue and fight, and it makes them, that's where they're, even though the heart is like, I don't care, the mind's like, I do, I don't like conflict. They hate confrontation and conflict, right? So there is that energy that's there. Their thoughts, they've got the Knight of Pentacles, just this is going slow, slowest moving knight out of them all. And I feel like they're saying, just take it slow, just kind of take things, not fast, to see what unfolds kind of energy. Doesn't feel like, well, we'll see what their actions are here with these other two cards, what's on their, what their intentions are, but their thoughts just seem to be not running anywhere quick in regards to anything. They're just kind of sitting there with that Knight of Pentacles. Their intentions, and they got the Eight of Swords and the Maiden of Swords, which is Page of Swords. This is all, again, thinking energy. Their intentions are really to think about things, kind of open communication is their intentions, but I don't feel like it is to, like, work towards, you know, reconciliation as it is, I want smooth communication between us. I don't like again, I don't like conflict, but I just wanna be able to have a conversation. And the Page of Swords is like, heightened, it's like a number 11. I wanna just take our communication to a higher level where we don't fight. I want smooth communication, is like their intention with that. I just don't wanna fight. We're in this like you said, you guys are in a group together. I feel like they care a lot about what people think about them. And so I don't want to be at conflict with you and be conflict with others because other people like you. And if I'm at conflict with you, I'm the bad guy. And, I don't want that. I want everyone to get along is kind of their intention with all this. I want smooth communication. Let's see here though, the energy. If you maintain distance, what kind of energy would you experience based on current energy? Yeah, eventually, we've got the 6 of Cups, which is someone, returning back, someone coming back. But the 10 of Wands is it's a lot of fire energy. It's a lot of flame, fire. I don't feel like it's passion. I feel like it's more we kind of with maintaining the distance, we've got this, um, I don't know, it's like we return back, but we just repeat the cycle again. So it's like, I feel like there's a difference between, and this makes sense, how you're investing your energy in the distance. If we're doing it to try to get them to chase after us, we're going to keep repeating the cycles, right? Um, but if you're doing it to truly go, "No, it's ended, and I'm done with this because I don't want this either, so I'm gonna maintain my distance for me, not as a trick or a game that I'm playing," right? That's the 10 of Wands is the change of the energy around the distance. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep, you know for some reason, it's you keep repairing the web, and then you catch the fly, and then the fly well, it's not a fly, it's a bird, and the bird rips away the web, and then you build another one, and then they get trapped again, and then they rip away because it's not, um a bird and a spider aren't meant to be together kind of energy, right? If you do not maintain distance yeah, then I feel like you miss out. You're delaying this 10 of Pentacles and this Page of Cups, this higher emotion, this 10 of Pentacles relationship that we talked about, right? That you have someone there, and again, that's in that book by Mel Robbins, the Let Them theory. It's the longer. Let me see. How does it say? I can almost see the page. It's like the longer we look backward, the longer we're delayed on taking step towards the love of our life when we keep looking backward. And I feel like that's what's happening here. It's like if I don't maintain distance and I try to go there, then it's just keeping me in that. Eventually it's going to end up the way it always has been, where you know, things get upset and they move away and then we go this other direction, right? So, um that's an interesting energy that's coming in there. But I feel like if you're going to keep your distance, then keep your distance from a place of for you, not as a punishment or um, you know, make it not rejecting, hoping they'll chase after us. Make it more of you know what? Me investing my energy in you is keeping me from the love of my life who's down the road. So you're distracting me and your distraction, I don't need to invest energy in you. I'm investing energy in my path is what I feel. So let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. Yeah, transform. Dun, 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 dun. You're in your transformational stage here. Let's see, 41, the card of change. 4 plus 1 is 5. Says, the snow and I are kneeling on roofs all over the world, and a spring will come to each life, and we will melt back into God. Says, let go. Surrender whatever form you're clinging to. Like a phoenix carries certainty of rebirth in its breast, go willingly to the fire and surrender whatever's aching to be reborn. Outdated beliefs, old ideas, worn out dreams, burnt out relationships, anything that makes you feel too small, overly tired, or not enough are fire worthy. New life needs the space of transformation in order to take root. Drop your defenses and melt away all that does not belong. Yeah, pretty clear message. All right, that's what they have for you, Sudeshna. Hopefully that helps, my dear. Many blessings to you. Hang in there. Big sigh. Oh, who dat? All right. So I think that was it for donations. So we'll continue back to the free reading. So Touch O Love, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp. And you want to ask what is coming for you for the next 2 days. All right, let's take a look here. You are so very welcome. All right, thank you. Boom, boom. So day one, you have the Four of Cups. Yeah, there's this kind of emotional stagnancy. Feels like over the 24 hours, kind of feeling like maybe a little that I'm stuck. And I just feel like it's okay to sit in that. It's okay. Hello, hello. It's okay. It's okay for us to feel that, because in experiencing this feeling of stagnancy and the same old boredom with the relationships of the outside world, situations like jobs, education, whatever, with our bodies, our bank accounts, possessions, with all those external 3 cups of the outside world, the 4th cup that's offered is our self-love. And when we get bored enough of the outside things not fulfilling us, then we eventually get bored enough or disappointed enough, we turn inward and upward. And it's a beautiful reflection. That's where we find that Ace of Cups that brings us that stability of emotion when we turn inward and upward. But the outside world, we're like, I'm just tired of the same old thing. It's like watching, if you ever watched like something that's been on like 25 seasons on TV, and you're like, there's really nothing new, but I'm so committed to this. I'm going to watch it, even if I'm going to like have it on and not really watching it, but I'm there. There is that kind of energy I feel the next 24 hours. The second day after that, yeah, you get the little 5 of Wands. What's with a little drama, a little transformation of energy, a little spark, a little fire. But I like that because I feel like you need that on day two. You need something to really rile yourself up, to get yourself going again, it's like, "Beat, stand clear," and you're not dying, but it's like kind of reactivating your life. Why am I stuck in the same old? I'm ready for a new spark. Clear, beep, and get things going, get that spark again. What is something that you can do? It's not waiting until someday in the future when I have this or can be this or be with this person or be walking again or whatever. It's what am I doing today? Because, I can be happy and be learning and doing something new today. And I feel like you are, but there's like this spark of something new in day two. So I like that for you. So hopefully that helps. That's what they got for you. Touch your love. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Faith and Love, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. It's tea time. Hello. So an energy check. Okay, let's take a sip here. Oh, the engagement. All right. So we'll pull from this other deck here. Cheers with the tea. So, an energy check on the engagement with sea in the last reading we had was happening in Aquarius season. So we can take a look at this. Sorry if you get tired of reading for your engagement. No, no, not at all. Let's see here. We've got the sun card here coming in, which of course is one of the most victorious energies here. You know, this it's funny because this is Leo season, July 23rd to August 22nd. It's going back further. But I don't feel like that's the I feel like it's not the date they want to confirm. They're just like focusing on the bright light. I am filled with energy and vitality. And I feel like what they're saying here is like we can check in on the energy. And you could already be doing this, but this because this is solar plexus energy, which is my empowerment kind of energy that's coming in here. A summer wedding. Hey, there you go. Or maybe that is the wedding date. Hey, it definitely could be here because we got this bright, beautiful sun. But this energy is like when I focus on what I'm grateful for, which the sun is about abundance and victory and fulfillment. It's like if I start getting drawn into, oh, when is this going to be? I want this. I need this. And we move out of gratitude in this moment, we start pushing it away. And I feel like it hasn't been pushed away, but they're like, if you invest this energy into that, then that pushes that away instead of when you focus on gratitude for what you do have in this moment, that's what grows, right? And so I feel like they're kind of coming back to that. Oh, very good. I love that. And so I feel like they're saying, you know, when we it's okay to wonder, but let our focus be on the gratitude of the day, the gratitude of the day. I'm gonna pull another tarot from the other deck and just see what is this anything else around what this sun is? Do we get the 4 of Wands? No, we got well, we get the other we get the strength card, which the is the other Leo energy. So it's interesting here um, that there is significance here around Leo season because you got two separate decks. You got the Sun card, and then you got the Strength card. Both of those, you know, obviously you can even see the Leo, but maybe you can't see. Got the Leo symbol right there, but yeah, definitely I feel like there's significance around a Leo season. Um, so maybe you guys do have even if it's not this year. Oh, look on the bottom of the deck. The 4 of Wands. Wedding, wedding energy. So there you go. You answered your own question. What am I here for? I'm here for entertainment, right? So there you go. I do feel like maybe it is Leo season that you have the marriage there. So, um, we like that. Easy breezy, short and easy. That's what they got for you, faith and love. So hopefully, uh, that helps. So many blessings to you. All right, Gene XO, you are up. Here's your timestamp. All right. Hello, love. So you want to ask, what are eyes, feelings, and intentions towards you, and the bottom of the deck as well? All right, let's take a look here. So feelings, intentions, and underlying energies. All right. We'll see here. The bottom of the deck, you've got the Tower card coming in here. So there's something that's happening in their life right now because that is an energy, of course, of like Scorpio, Pluto energy that um, something being removed out of their life to make space for something that's more in tune um, or your life. But we'll see here what comes in here because what are their feelings right now? We do have the moon card, a lot of feelings, a lot of hidden emotions coming in here too. So there's a lot of holding back emotions. I don't feel like it's secrets energy, but I do feel like they're feeling very, very emotional right now. Huge, huge emotion. Um, and just a sea of it, of all types of emotion. Love is in there, but also fear and um, what is this other? There's just like such a dark, like ocean. There's a lot of emotion down there that has to do with a lot of things that were stuffed when they were younger. They have not dealt with that are screaming about, fear of abandonment, fear of being left behind, fear of pain, fear of being blamed. There's a lot of this push down bubbled stuff that the sea monsters that have been, the Loch Ness monster below the surface that people don't see. Every once in a while, it sticks its head up, and you're like, "What? Did you guys see that?" And they're like, "What? What are you talking about?" So there's kind of that there. What are their intentions towards you? Yeah, still that indecision with the Two of Wands. I can talk. So I feel like they're going back and forth, and this underlying energy, I feel like there is this fear that's here, this transformation, and I feel like they're getting to this point, right? That they're showing me Frogger of all things, that old video game where get on a if you get on a one of the little logs, it doesn't go to the other side. If you don't leap before it hits the edge, you die. Right? And I feel like that's what they're going, "Oh god, I gotta make a decision. I've either gotta leap back or I gotta leap forward, or if I leap in the water, I also die. So I either have to go back or I have to leap forward, and time is running out." And I feel like there's this sense of time is running out. I need to make a decision to step away or step forward, but staying where I'm at now can't it can't stay. It's time is running out. That's what I feel is coming in with those, so hopefully that makes sense. Right, that's what they have for you, Jean. So many blessings to you. Oh, how fun. Uh-oh, now he's really scared. Uh-oh. I know everything about you. Oh, no. There are no secrets. Dun, dun, dun. You're welcome, Faith and Love. Right? You just never know. People are like, they don't know what to think, right? Whoops. There we go. I think that's just you, who data. I don't know who you are, what you are drinking, but don't share it with me yet. All right. So, Patricia, you are up next. Here is your timestamps here. And a message for the rest of December. Let's see what we got here. All right, you got the Seven of Swords and the King of Pentacles. The rest of December here, I feel like is a big opportunity that's coming in here for the shaking a little bit of some old beliefs around abundance. Because the Seven of Swords represents like our own thoughts and beliefs that steal from us, thief from us, do you know, um, those types of challenges. And, with the King of Pentacles, that is this abundant energy. It's the one that rules over the abundance of the outside world. And so, there is this bit of clarity, I feel like, comes in. And that comes in when we have fears of, you know, fear of not having enough, not being enough, fear of not being able to give enough, or that we aren't going to receive enough kind of energy that comes in, right? And there is this again, the challenge that it brings it up for us not to go, "Ha ha, look which beliefs you have." It comes up to go, "Look what you have so you can be freed from it." And so I feel like these next couple of weeks are bringing that up for you here, not, "Oh god, bad news." It's just more of as the triggers come up, as these concerns or fears arise, it's not, you know, um, to be I don't know, a judgment. It's to free you from it. An opportunity for you to be freed, is what I feel is coming in here. And that can even do with like how you're looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world. One of the big things the king teaches us is, we're taught as humans to define our worth by the three buckets of the outside world: relationships of all kinds, friends, family, lovers, whoever, um, situations like jobs, education, social status, things like that, and then things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. But when we're taught to define ourselves, but all those things are unstable. People change, people pass away, people walk away. Relationships with people unstable. We define ourselves by it. We feel unstable, right? So questioning our beliefs around, all these things, because things never stay, I mean, situations never stay the same, things break down, deteriorate, blow up, burn down, all that's unstable out there. But that's everything we're taught growing up as a human to focus on, defining us. But when we get disappointed enough, tired enough of that unstable feeling in the outside world, that's when we turn inward and upward to the only stable thing in this realm, which is the eternal, unconditional love of the higher realms. So we start questioning these thoughts that we have around, you are defined by this person's actions or non actions, words or silence. Unstable. When we question it and go, am I though? Or am I defined inward and upward by this beautiful, eternal, never ending, unconditional, nothing I have to do to earn it, nothing I can do to lose it, love, priceless, solid, stable, right? Versus the outside. So I feel like that's kind of what's unfolding a bit, for the remainder of this month. One thing anyway. So that's what they have there. You're so funny. Huda, I'm never going to look at the Om symbol again the same. All right. So, Olivier Vagata, you are up. I got to change the subject. I got to keep moving on here. You're so funny. All right. So, Olivier, good to see you. Hello, hello. There's your timestamp. And you want to ask what your guides want to let you know right now. Let's take a look here. All right. I got this and this here. So, we've got the Knight of Swords and the Emperor. Yeah. Really, there's this huge questioning of thoughts and beliefs with this. The Knight of Swords, of course, is on a quest for clarity, for the Ace of Swords, which allows them to see things from a different perspective, from a heavenly, a perspective, a place of unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace, seeing things from that higher vibration instead of the opinion, small t truth of fear from humans, right? And even the Emperor, with that Aries energy, we've talked about them before, right? Where they are in a throne room and they have all these people with all these opinions, these self-appointed advisors telling them how they should rule their empire, and supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, must be, all these rules. Like we are inundated all our lives growing up with stories. This means this means that, that means this. And this is all about a time of stepping into your power and questioning the stories that are happening. And as you, as something happens in the outside world, it's meaningless until it gets in here and we apply meaning to it. We apply the story. And it's based on our past, based on opinion. Oh, this means this. And like, does it have to though? We can look at it. We can try to look at it with fresh eyes, fresh perspective, take a step back and go, does it have to mean that? Even as a fun thing that I used to do to help me train my mind to question things was like take a situation and rewrite it like a dozen times. Different perspectives that is here, right? This is your, different energies. There's these different, um, you know, ways of looking at things, different perspectives. So, you know, I was fired from a job and that means this. No, I was fired from a job. I wasn't fired from a job. I was freed from a prison of a job and now I can live my dream. I was freed because now someone that really was life or death is going to get that job and they needed it more than I did. And now I'm going to go on to something else that someone else is leaving a position. It's like, you create all these stories of what a situation means, and you realize I can make it mean whatever I want it to. That's my power I get to choose every moment, right? The story of what something means, how, and then my soundtrack that goes with that story starts playing, the emotions I choose, the energy that I put out that I'll attract, and my physical actions in response to it too. So I feel like there's an empowerment there and some sort of creative writing exercise assignment for you from your spirit guides. So that's what they have for you, Livier. Hopefully that helps a little bit right now. So many blessings to you. You didn't realize. Whoops. No, I didn't make that. That's all, the popular Ohm symbol, but yeah, I definitely can't unsee it now. Now I have to get a new tapestry. Shopping. I'm just kidding. All right. So we've got D8F. You are up, and I'm sorry, there's a symbol there too. I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to call you D8F. Here is your user ID and your timestamp. You want to know how TNO feels about you. Does he hate your DM? All right, let's take a look here and see what we got here. How do they feel about you first, based on current energy, right? And then did they hate your DM? All right, let's see what we got here. So what's their current feelings? Well, current feelings, I got the 10 of cups. There's this joy, happy love energy here. So there's a fulfillment here. I mean, fullness. I don't feel like they feel bad. It feels like there's happiness existing here. Do they hate your DM? Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight out of them all. This is like a slow motion. Um, it almost feels like they're kind of a chill kind of person. They're just like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. Are they high? I don't know what's going on. Because I feel like they're just like, yeah, it's all good. And, they're like, they see your DM and they're just kind of like, oh, I'll respond to it eventually. I don't feel like they're in this place of joy and happiness. I don't feel like anything's impacting them. That's why I feel like they're either high on a substance, or they're high on life, or they're just high in love or something going on with them. But I just feel like they're in such a good mood that they're purposely not letting anything bug them. And I feel like they're just really, but they have this real chill, kind of unbothered energy around them. So I'm not sure where it's coming from, but I don't feel like they hate it. I feel like they're just, like, unimpacted. It's earthy energy, it's really grounded energy, and they're just taking their time on. I feel like they started to read it, and then they stopped reading it, and then they'll read a little more, but I don't feel like they're like, "I gotta read this and respond to it." I just feel like they're like, "I'll read it. I'll read a little more of it. I got other stuff to do. I'm gonna go do stuff." That's the kind of energy I feel. So hopefully that helps. That's what they got for you there. And then Maria P, you are up. Is your timestamp. You want a general for you and Wally. All right, let's see. What else do they want you guys or you to know about you and Wally? All right. Yeah. I feel like they're telling you here with the Four of Cups, eventually your relationship will kind of stagnate emotionally, like every relationship. And the Judgment card is about don't forget that you have a calling in life, you know, um, it's like, your job isn't to be a wife, be a part of the adventure, but you came here with a purpose that has to do with how you are sharing your love in your heart with the world. You have a mission, you have something that you want to accomplish and do. All that's just extra. Those are just cups that you fill. But after a while, if you're like, this is my life, you're gonna get bored of it. It's gonna be dull because you're just like, "All right, now what?" But you have a dream, you have this song that's within you that's unsung, and, yeah, it's nice, family and doing all those stuff. Those are ways to express your joy in life, but you have something more there, and I feel like they're just reminding you of that. Boom, boom. So there you go. That's what they have for you, Maria. So many blessings to you. And then we have Who That? Oh my gosh, we are to you. Can you believe it? Whoops, I think I hit the wrong buttons. There we go. That looks better. Here's your timestamp, or when I started anyway. There you go. So you said that you're not really happy with the Sagittarius. He seems to think Pisces will satisfy his needs. You doubt it. So you want to find out just what spirit has to say about it? Or do you have a specific question you want to pop in there since you're here right now? And you're actually my last question as well. So he seems to think. All right. Oh, all right. Thank you. Yeah, I see what you're saying here because, yeah, take it away. Because you've got the star card here, which is Aquarius energy, but it's hope. And that's what came through here. It's like they have this hope that they think, oh, this one is going to bring me what I need. This one is the one that's going to fill me, right? And then we have the tower, which is the removal of things out of their life, you know, each other's life to make space for something that's more in alignment for them here. But yeah, I they don't, the whole thing is, it's funny because my dad's a Sagittarius, my mom's a Pisces, and um, the whole journey of them together in their lifetime. They divorced when I was like 17, so and they probably they divorced in the perfect timing, of course, but it probably, if you were going to write it, you would write that it would have ended a long time before that because they were miserable. And they basically were staying together for the sake of the children. Um, but they were miserable the whole time. And I'm like, why didn't you guys divorce younger? You could have had like great step parents instead of you guys fighting, and being absent from each other's lives a lot. But I feel like that's the kind of energy that comes in here is, and I feel like this is why they wanted to, like, they activated that story within my memory because when we think that someone else is going to fulfill us, we're gonna be sorely disappointed because until we find the love inside of ourselves, we can't give more love to others than we have for ourselves, nor receive love from others more than our self-love. So if our self-love is like this big, no matter how much love we want to push out, it's only going to trickle no matter how much love someone's going to bring in. It's going to trickle. And until they find their self-love, you're right. It's not going to satisfy their needs because it will fall short. And then they'll be like, well, maybe I need two people. Maybe I need three people. Or maybe it's them. It's the next person. No, it's the next one, the next one. And I remember a conversation. that I had with my mom, you know, in the last decade, which let's see, I'm 58 this year. I'm 58 right now. So if you're thinking like that happened back when I was 17, what, 40 years ago, is when they divorced. And my mom carried it probably her entire life up to that point. But she thought, um, because in our conversation, my dad wasn't living near her and my brother and all his family. He has all the grandkids and all that. And it would upset her when they would get excited to hear from him because he was in Hawaii. He would, FaceTime in and they'd be like, oh, look, it's, grandpa, blah, blah, blah. And, and I was like, why are you so angry? And she was like, because every time I see him, I'm reminded that I wasn't enough. And I'm like, say that again? She was like, every time, like, you know, and my mom got remarried a second time and it lasted a couple years, but, you know, it was that feeling that I wasn't enough because, he needed to find someone else and he cheated on her throughout their marriage as well. And I'm like, you do realize that you couldn't make him happy until he was happy on the inside. It wasn't you. Otherwise, he'd have been happy with wife number 2, wife number 3, all the girlfriends and everyone he had in between. And I loved just being able to see my mom sit there and the little light bulb go off. And she started just to tears of relief because she was like realizing, yeah, well, yeah. Because if it was me, then he would have been happy with number 2. But he went on, because he was in pursuit of his self-love, as we all are, right? And none of us will be content and satisfied with another human till we're satisfied and content in here. That's the way it works, right? So you're absolutely right. And I feel like there will be a tower moment, well, where it'll end. Same thing. I feel like the cycle is repeated until it is learned. Like we have our wonderful teachers that will continually show us what we want to see about ourselves until we see it, not out of punishment, but for us. It's part of our adventure, right? So that's what they have for you. You are right. You are correct. That's a long way to say that, but there you go. All right, everybody. Well, I don't have any other questions, no other donations. So I'm going to close this out. I will be back, of course. I'm on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and then Saturday and Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So if you want to join me then, be sure to check it out. And if you haven't entered my giveaway yet, I do have a drawing every new moon and full moon for the chance of winning a 30-minute personal recorded reading or my Hedge of Peace and Love. So if you're interested, you can check that out. It's always listed in the description box of the video as well. I also have all my personal readings and my Hedge of Peace and Love on sale all the way until the end of the year, January 1st through January 1st, in fact. And then if you haven't checked out my new podcast, here is the link to that in the playlist. Of course, is in the description box and on the main page of my channel as well. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in seeing what Spirit has to say about making things an easier path. This one was about searching and finding love. So it's a fun energy there. Capricorn. Yeah, I'm a Capricorn rising, Aquarius sun, Pisces moon. A fun combo. So thanks everyone for being here and for all your love and support and all the thumbs up. I'm so grateful. And until I see you guys again, remember that, every second of every day of our lives, that we truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So you're very welcome. So until I see you guys again, enjoy your evenings, enjoy this wonderful energies. Virgo rising, oh, fun. Wow, Capricorn with Virgo rising. You're a big thinker, aren't you? It's a lot of thinking energy. Fun, fun. I get it too. Aquarius, air, and Capricorn, but I have a ton of water that takes me into the pulls me out of my head a little bit. So fun, fun. All right, everybody. Have some fun. Remember, this is a playground. Why are we being so serious? Let's go play. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you soon. Much love.